Oratory, Sophia Gulmatovas from Eisenhower High School.
In 2012, my little sister Ava entered my family's life. With beautiful blue eyes and even more beautiful blonde hair, Ava seemed to have it all. But when she was 3 years old and still couldn't verbalize simple words like mama or dada, we knew that something was seriously not right. It would take Ava 8 years to finally receive the diagnosis of the very rare genetic mutation CTNNB1 Syndrome, a condition that disrupts the nervous system and brain functions. Now, I'm sure that you're all expecting an inspiring story about perseverance and bravery. You would be wrong. This is not a speech about Ava. This is a speech about the depiction of my little sister and many others like her. Forrest Gump, the good doctor. We've all seen television shows, film, and social media where disabled individuals often exist to simply inspire able-bodied individuals. This is a concept called inspiration exploitation. Journalist and disability activist Stella Young coined a more controversial term for this in her 2014 TED Talk. Inspiration porn. Sure, the word porn may seem harsh, but it's fitting, as Young describes it as the objectification of one group of people and benefit for another. In this case, the objectification of the disabled and benefit for the neurotypical. So today, let's examine where the subtle objectification of this community began. Look at how inspiration exploitation, while well-intentioned, can have detrimental effects, and seek ways that we can support people like my little sister, instead of minimizing them to a one-dimensional figure. The term poster child was first used in 1940, when Donald Eugene Anderson became the first child to be pictured on a March of Dimes publicity poster. The poster's two photos consisted of one, Donald in a neck brace and an arm sling, and the other, after various therapies, striding briskly along, unsupported and radiating with confidence. In the March 2023 Forbes article titled, "What's the Difference Between Being Inspirational and Inspiration Porn?" entrepreneur Melissa Ryan, who has cerebral palsy, states that commonly large companies and nonprofits will feature individuals with disabilities in an ad or media for the sole purpose of fundraising. And according to an NPR report, St. Jude's Children's Hospital raised a whopping $2 billion in 2023. Yet, it has enough in reserves to run the organization comfortably for the next 4.5 years. So, despite their end goal to improve the lives of others, companies and nonprofits rely on inspiration exploitation as a marketing tactic to keep the money rolling in. And now, almost every single news broadcast has a feel-good story. And many of them include inspiration exploitation. For example, in 2019, many news outlets came to report on retired McDonald's worker Russell O'Grady, a man with Down syndrome. And why is this newsworthy? Well, O'Grady was able to keep his job for 32 years with Down syndrome. These stories imply that finding an individual in the workforce with disabilities is like finding a needle in a haystack, and they're looked at as remarkable. I love my sister very much, and she is remarkable, but not because of her disability. It doesn't matter if our hearts are in the right place. The effects of inspiration exploitation are damaging. In the May 2023 LinkedIn article titled, "How to Avoid Inspiration Porn," DEI columnist Andrew Polring comments that the effects of inspiration exploitation center around the conditioning that disabilities are somehow wrong and something that must be overcome, whether we voice that belief or not. How many times have we been walking in the hallway at school and fixated on someone and thought, wow, that is really brave. That outfit is hideous. And we feel sorry for them and think that their lives could be so much better if they simply made a better fashion choice. Now, when we see someone with a disability and we think, wow, that is really brave, what are we really saying? Sahana Viaje, a disability activist, says in a letsdefeatbullying.com article from 2021 that inspiration exploitation can actually further alienate people with disabilities because it makes them feel like they're different, or worse, less than. She also adds that pity posts enforce more ignorance on the majority of society and distorts our sense of understanding. We think that by reading these articles and posts that we are doing a good deed, when in reality, we are avoiding responsibility and getting this good feeling without actually doing anything. People will come up to my sister and I and comment things like, "Oh, bless your heart," or "My God, you must be a saint." Or worse, looking at her and saying, "Oh, you poor thing." Ava is stubborn, sneaky, funny. She loves to swim and play in the trampoline. She is anything but a poor thing. I'd like to challenge that we are the poor things, because we have allowed inspiration exploitation to subtly manipulate our thoughts and actions. The key to conquering this manipulation is to first appreciate those who have things a little bit more difficult than us, without being patronizing. Para-Olympian and disability accessibility consultant Jessica Smith says that a disability is a part of a disabled person's life. It's not their entire life. And once we have that understanding, we can better recognize and avoid partaking in inspiration exploitation. In his book, How to Be a Better Disability Ally, Gabriel Medina says that there are 3 key things that we must consider. 1, are disabled individuals being objectified when you value? 2, is their disability being depicted as a problem that must be overcome? And 3, are able-bodied individuals portrayed as heroes in these scenarios? Ultimately, if the same task were to be performed by an able-bodied person, would it still be considered remarkable? And speaking of their existence as a tragedy or a burden or a testament to bravery, no matter how well-intentioned, ends up sounding demeaning and disrespectful. And oftentimes, we are just taking the awkwardness that we feel and transferring it onto someone who didn't deserve it or expect it. Instead, we need to speak up and challenge harmful stereotypes when we encounter them. We need to take the time to listen to the perspectives of disabled individuals without inserting our own opinions and viewpoints. Knowing the dangers of inspiration exploitation and how to best combat the feelings that it presents, we can take strides in the right direction for ourselves and for so many others. For my little sister Ava, and for so many people out there like her, they shouldn't be the focus of a TikTok or a news story simply because of their disability, but rather because they are just like every single one of us, and they deserve the dignity and respect that is due to them. And that I believe is the inspiration we all need.